Ever feel like you're adrift at sea? Now, not literally, but in that metaphorical sense, like when life feels kind of stagnant,
Yeah.
like you're just waiting for something, like a gust of wind to push you forward.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
was feeling that way actually just the other week, like a bit lost at sea, so to speak, wondering what to do next, what my next big move should be. And that's why I'm so excited for today's deep dive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to explore this blog post called If There Is No Wind, Row.
I like that.
Yeah, and it's all about taking initiative, even when you're feeling stuck.
But what I find interesting about this post is that it doesn't frame um, being stuck as a negative thing.
Right.
It actually encourages us to view it as an opportunity,
Okay.
like a chance to reflect and to reevaluate and maybe even to chart a new course.
It's like instead of panicking because you're becalmed on this, metaphorical sea,
Right.
you realize, hey, I've got oars.
You have oars, yeah.
They can still move forward. I can still go somewhere. But the post emphasizes before you start rowing, you need to know where you're headed.
Of course.
There's no point in, expending all that energy if you're just going in circles.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's where this idea of like identifying your direction comes in.
Yeah.
It's about taking the time to really understand what you want, what motivates you.
Mm-hmm.
What are those deep-seated desires? The ones that you know, if fulfilled, would make you feel truly energized and alive.
So for you listening, I want you to pause for a moment and just consider this. Where do you want to go?
Yeah, good question.
And don't get bogged down in the how.
Right.
Right.
Just picture the destination.
Yeah.
Where do you want to be? Who do you want to become?
Right. Now, once you have that vision in mind, the source suggests something that might seem kind of counterintuitive, and that is start small.
I love that. It's so easy to get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
When you focus on the enormity of a goal, you think, oh my God, how am I going to do that? But the key, as the author highlights, is to just break it down into little manageable steps.
Yeah.
It uses the analogy of rowing a boat.
Yeah.
You don't cross a lake with one massive stroke.
Right.
It's consistent.
Yeah.
Smaller actions over time.
It's like building a brick wall, right?
Eh,
Just analogy.
Each brick you lay is a small, manageable task.
Yeah.
But over time, those individual actions result in something.
Yeah.
You know, a structure
Mm-hmm.
you could never have achieved in one go.
Exactly. And there's a really fascinating psychological element at play here.
Oh, really?
Our brains crave progress.
Okay.
Every time we check off a task, we get hit of dopamine,
Dopamine, yeah.
which is that feel-good neurotransmitter.
Oh, I see.
This creates a positive feedback loop, motivating us to keep going.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
So if you're listening and you know you feel daunted by a particular goal,
Break it down.
try breaking it down.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
You want to write a novel. Focus on writing a chapter a week or even just a page a day.
Mm-hmm.
You want to learn a new language. Commit to studying 15 minutes each morning. Yeah, just those little wins.
It's about building momentum brick by brick, stroke by stroke.
Exactly. And to kind of make those small steps even more rewarding, the source talks about the importance of celebrating milestones.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
It's like giving yourself a little, mini celebration for each step you take, no matter how small.
yeah, absolutely. Our brains respond to rewards
Mm-hmm.
and acknowledging our progress, even if it's just a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
reinforces those good behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it this way. Like if you were training for a marathon, right?
Okay. Yeah.
You wouldn't wait till you crossed the finish line to celebrate,
No.
right? You'd acknowledge those early morning runs.
Yeah.
You know the longer distances that you're able to cover.
Yeah.
Each step that gets you a little bit closer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Each milestone, each mini victory fuels that motivation.
Keeps you going, yeah.
It keeps you going. So for you listening, how can you incorporate this into your own life?
Yeah, that's the question, right?
What feels rewarding to you? Maybe it's treating yourself to a special meal after a productive week, or taking a break to do something you love after hitting a challenging milestone. Whatever it is, make sure to acknowledge those wins.
For sure. And speaking of support, the blog post emphasizes the importance of finding like your cheer squad,
Oh, yeah, your people.
your people. Yeah.
Those who believe in you.
Believe in you and your goals. Yeah.
Having a support system, that can make all the difference.
Oh, for sure.
Sharing your aspirations with others. Having people who, hold you accountable.
Accountability is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And receiving encouragement when you need it most.
Mm-hmm.
It's like having a tailwind. you know?
Yes.
That helps propel you forward.
It's recognizing that we don't have to navigate this whole journey alone.
Right.
Connecting with other people who understand our goals, our struggles, our triumphs can give you an incredible source of strength and motivation.
So think about your own support system. Who are those people that you can rely on? Maybe it's a close friend or a family member, mentor, coworker, yeah, or even an online community of like-minded individuals.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to reach out. Let them know what you're working towards. So sometimes just vocalizing your goals can make them feel more real and attainable.
Absolutely.
Right.
And on that note of consistency and support, the author also stresses the power of habits.
Ah, yes, habits, those little, seemingly small automated actions that can either support or sabotage us.
They can really make or break you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The blog post talks about incorporating positive habits that contribute to our overall well-being and help us move towards our goals.
For sure. Imagine you make it a habit to dedicate a specific time each day to working towards your goals, even if it's just 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Over time, this seemingly small action becomes just ingrained in your routine, and you're basically building in that rowing motion without even thinking about it.
It's like setting your sails, right, to catch the wind. Once the habit is established, it requires less conscious effort.
Less effort, exactly.
Right. So what's one positive habit you can incorporate into your routine?
That's the question.
Maybe it's waking up a bit earlier to work on a personal project, or taking a few minutes each day to meditate or journal.
Yeah.
Remember, even small habits, when practiced consistently, can lead to big changes.
Oh, absolutely.
Over time.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, we've talked a lot about taking action and setting goals and building habits, but, maintaining motivation isn't always easy. We all have those days when we just don't feel like rowing.
Absolutely. Life happens.
Yeah, life happens. Exactly.
Right. And sometimes, even with the best of intentions, our motivation just wanes.
Yeah.
What I appreciate about this blog post is that it doesn't shy away from that.
No, it's very real.
Yeah, it's real. It offers practical tips for staying afloat, so to speak. When motivation feels elusive, it delves into strategies like visualization, seeking inspiration, and incorporating rewards.
Yeah. Which one of these resonated with you?
I'm really drawn to the concept of visualization.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a technique that's been used by high achievers for years, and research shows that it actually works. Essentially, you create a very clear picture in your mind of yourself achieving your goal, like almost watching a movie in your mind.
Yeah.
And experiencing the emotions associated with that success.
It's like a dress rehearsal.
Exactly.
For that moment of victory.
Precisely. By mentally rehearsing that success, you're priming your brain for it.
Yeah.
The goal feels more tangible, more attainable, and that just boosts your motivation.
I actually use visualization myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, especially when I'm tackling a project that feels really daunting. I'll close my eyes for a few minutes and just envision, the project's completion.
Yeah.
The feeling of accomplishment, the positive impact it might have.
It's amazing how powerful that is. It is. It's amazing how much that simple mental exercise can just shift my energy and focus.
It's a really powerful tool. That allows you to harness the power of your mind to work for you, not against you. And speaking of harnessing power, that brings us back to the core message of this blog post. Even when external circumstances feel stagnant, you have the power to create your own forward momentum.
That is such an empowering message. It aligns perfectly with everything we've discussed today. Identifying your direction.
Taking small steps.
Taking those small steps. Celebrating milestones.
Finding support. Building habits.
Finding your support. Building those habits.
It's about taking ownership of your journey.
It's about, like the post says, rowing your own boat.
Row your own boat. Love it.
Towards your goals. Yeah. Even when the winds of fortune aren't blowing in your favor.
And it's not just about reaching the destination. It's about the journey itself. The challenges that you overcome, the lessons that you learn, the resilience that you build along the way.
It's like that saying, right? It's not the destination, it's the journey.
It really is.
And in this case, the journey of self-motivation, it's about building those inner muscles.
Yeah.
The ones that help you keep moving forward. Even when you face, obstacles.
Yeah. or a lack of external inspiration.
Yes.
It's about cultivating that inner strength and resilience.
It's like a rower.
Yes.
With each pull of the oars. It not only propels the boat forward, but also strengthens their own body and mind.
It's a beautiful analogy, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It really brings to life that idea that we're not just passive passengers
No.
on this journey called life.
We can grab those oars and steer ourselves where we want to go.
And as we've been saying, it's not about, brute force or massive leaps.
It's not about being Superman.
No.
Yeah.
It's about those consistent, intentional actions, even if they seem small at the time. It's about, embracing the process, acknowledging the progress, and finding joy in the journey.
I love that.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into If There Is No Wind, Row, I want to leave you with this question. What's one small rowing action that you can take today to move a little bit closer to that destination you thought about earlier?
Yeah.
It could be anything. Sending an email, making a phone call.
Signing up for that class?
Signing up for that class.
Yeah.
Or just spending 15 minutes working on that project you've been putting off.
Even the tiniest action taken with intention,
Yeah.
it can create a ripple effect.
Yeah.
Set you in motion.
Bring you closer to the life you want to create.
Exactly.
Until our next deep dive, keep rowing, keep exploring.
Keep those oars moving.
Keep those oars moving.